the moon in their face. They only saw silhouettes, could not tell the color of their uniforms. So they were expecting someone to climb. They will hear noises. They will ask qui vive, which is a fancy way to ask who's there. And the answer is La France ravitaillement. It was given in the perfect French. It was not an English soldiers that climbed first, it was a Scottish unit, 78 Fraser Highlanders unit, that spoke perfect French. Because Scotland, France, and Norway were allied countries. They called it the Old Alliance for 4 centuries old. And in 1745, 15 years before the battle, they were still allied countries. So among the officers, many of them spoke the perfect French without any accent at all. It is the Lieutenant Colonel Simon Fraser that will answer back to the French guards. And they'll notice that there were Scottish, battles will occur, skirmishers attack, but after them, after the Scottish, is close to 4,500 soldiers that are landing on the beach, scaling the cliff on half a kilometer wide. And they brought with them 2 bronze cannon of 800 pounds each. That was quite something. And while they were coming from the west, boats were sent to the east part of Quebec, where the French headquarters was placed, and where the French were expecting a British landing there, not at the west. It was truly a surprise for everyone. No one was expecting this, like I've said. And I have to admit something as well. In this cliff, there's poison ivy. Poor soldiers. They should have scratched themselves for days after, especially the kilts, you know. It's windy here. Poor them. But well, it was quite something, like I've said. And even on the British side, they were not truly enthusiastic of scaling the cliff. Not the men, but the officers. They actually sent a letter to James Wolfe. That was, he was bedridden for all the month of August. He was sick, he had many diseases. He knew that if he was not able to take the city before winter, he will sail back home and had chances to die because he had mortal diseases. And well, he was actually ready to sacrifice half of his troop, and all his officers sent him a letter begging him, do not try this maneuver. Don't climb on the plains of Abraham because you don't have any option for retreat. Think about this. Are you going to jump down the cliff once you're here? This was a do or die mission. And well, you'll see it was basically a game of dice. Well, we're very close on the battlefield, you'll see. So let's continue.